Hello and welcome back. Welcome to the neighborhood, Abigail.
Feeling good?
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's busy week.
Yes.
End of school, you know how that goes.
Oh my gosh.
All the activities, you're gearing up all your summer activities. I feel like I just sprint from one location to the other and tell my kids to walk faster all day.
You know what? Okay, this was so crazy. Yesterday, we went to karate and I sat next to one of my mom friends and she's like, I'm so tired. I'm like, oh, why? She's like, the kids are already out of school. And I was like,
oh, were they Oak Park?
yes. Yes. And I was like, oh no. She's like, well, what happened was it was this flurry of activities at school. And then all of a sudden it just ended. And then my kids were home with me.
Yeah. And the
she was
flurry
just
of activities at the end is a lot.
Real. It's real. We've had a whole flurry and it's not over yet. Our kids are out next Wednesday. How about you guys?
We are, I don't know, what day is it? How would I know? I think we're next Friday, but Friday is like a graduation because, you know, kids graduate from preschool like 19 times now. And so it's basically just like a 4-minute ceremony and then like a free-for-all on the lawn where they try to run into the street, which is really fun. So basically next Wednesday as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting the fact that I did not set up a couple more camps.
I know. I've done almost nothing.
I was listening to something and they were like, it's May. If you have not signed up your child in all of their camps like 2 months ago.
I didn't go to any camps as a kid, so this is like not second nature to me. And then I hear all the moms talking about it and I'm like, oh, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? I don't know.
Well, it's because the summer hours are, because it's lighter outside so much later. You like even right now it already started.
You have to fill the day.
It's an additional 2 hours we've received
and
already.
we need to fill the day with some indoor activities because of the skin tone of my children, because of me.
Yes. And well, the good news is that they get tired out really easily from the pool. They get tired easily from the sun. So you don't actually have to send them out all day long. I love a good like swim moment and like do that for a couple hours. And then once they're nice and tired, you bring them in, you bathe them, and then you start your movie night nice and early.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know. We're trying to get a little more pool safe currently so that maybe I can take the kids to the pool by myself and not have one drown. So that's my goal.
Okay, that's all of our goal.
Weeks.
So tell us. So what you just tell the fine people what you just told me you did. You went to swim
yesterday
twice.
We made a large mistake because my kids are in this intensive 2-week swim every day thing with this awesome instructor who's like works magic on them. But the kids typically have swim at their normal place every week on Wednesday. So yesterday we went to their swim lessons and then we went to karate. And then we went to their second swim lesson because I was like, well, I don't want to cancel it. I'll never actually make up the day. I paid for it. And they were really tired. And then Sam and I both had something separate to do. And so our fabulous babysitter came over. And I was like, they'll go to bed by 6:30. And they were not in bed by 6:30. So now they're just these like over-exhausted little monsters. And I'm like, well, maybe tonight we'll go to bed by 6:30. But we're doing this super intense swim. So that hopefully, I mean, Ford's doing really well. He was like swimming laps like across the pool, catching the wall and going back. And Owen dove for rings today for the first time. So they're coming along. It's their 3rd day of intensive swim. They have like 8 more. So.
Wow. I'm impressed Owen's doing that.
He loves the water. And we did this same thing in September. And Owen literally screamed for almost the whole 2 weeks. Because he hated it and he doesn't like to float on his back. But because he's been in lessons with his brother, like you told me to do, he loves the water now. And so he's like coming up to speed so much faster. So I'm hoping we can be good, but it's a little stressful because I think this woman they go to is incredible, but she kind of lets him like flounder a little bit. And so Owen fell off the step today and I'm like, she's like, he's fine. I'm like, is he fine? And he got back, but I was like,
yeah, it is really
so
scary.
So that's why I came in here and took a real deep breath. I'm like, okay.
I can't believe that you had them in 2 swim lessons. So one was at the school.
No one do that.
No, yeah, but it's the way the scheduling worked out because
it's only 2 weeks of this like everyday swim. So I was like, well, we'll go to our other lesson too because typically they love it, and they were not excited.
Are you doing the lesson with the two of them at Water Wings? Are you doing that one once a week or twice a week?
Once a week.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a maintenance thing. And my hope is that doing this intensive 2 weeks and going to the pool a ton during the summer, they'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, they will. I mean, you'll see over the period of the summer, like supplemented with the fact that you have them in lessons, they will improve a lot.
I know. I hope so. But it's just our whole plan was, okay, they'll do these lessons and then Sam and I will take them to the pool every weekend. And now we can't do that. So hoping to get them to a point where I can take them both myself and not completely lose my mind.
Yeah.
The second portion.
Yes.
Key.
Yeah. No, I know. It's really stressful. And now as you're talking about, and diving for rings, I'm like, he's only, like 4 or 5 months older than London. So I'm like, am I supposed
3.
to put her in 3 months older than London?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, I don't know that they have to be diving for rings, but it's also because my two are in lessons together at the swim school, it would be better if they were at a more similar level.
yeah. No, the faster you can get them there, the better. So I'm impressed. Okay, good. Because I was thinking maybe I wouldn't put her in lessons, but maybe I will now. That's good. Well, actually, speaking of her and the swimming, we did our Memorial Day and we went to
I forgot. That was like a couple days ago and it seems like 3 weeks ago. I'm
literally,
like, where is the time going?
It feels like a lifetime ago, right? And I want to hear all about yours. But I'll just tell you, when we were at the pool, I had me and Casey right next to London, like in the pool.
Oh, because it feels like in a split second something can go so wrong. It's so scary.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's like a 1-foot baby pool. So we have the big kids and the big kid pool with their friends. They're fully water safe. There's a lifeguard. There's tons of adults. And then I am in the baby pool. And actually the big kids, like Carter and Charlotte, would come and like visit London in the baby pool. And it was cute. There was like noodles and she was like, we were playing with them and stuff together. But like, man, they fall down like once in the water and it's like they don't know to hold their breath.
And they panic and then you panic. And
it is scary. And it's just, I mean, I'm literally, I am with her. So it was just a matter of grabbing her. But yeah, so it's real. And then of course one of these families came and they had like the cutest little like sun shaded, baby floaty. And I was like, and the baby was so happy and so cute.
That was never my experience with those floaties.
Me neither. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Mine crawled out of them and screamed. So
yes,
I think Ford once bit a hole in one. So
Ford.
There's certain children that the nice shade floaties are not suitable for.
Yes.
And that was both of mine.
Yes, because
Like,
last
would
year...
flip themselves over in it.
Yeah.
It was almost more hazardous than them just trying to swim themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, last year I was like, I had the pink shaded one, and I looked over and I was like, oh, that's what I thought was going to happen last year with mine. But I'm so glad your baby's thriving because he looked so happy and so cute,
and it was a boy?
It was a boy.
Ugh.
6-month-old little baby boy, and he was just chilling in his little, like, it was one of those things where it looked so good that I was like, I actually wouldn't mind having one of those for myself.
Oh, yeah.
It was enticing.
Costco's got some good options right now.
Oh, really?
I'm going to throw one in your pool for my backyard.
Oh, okay. Well, bring your kids over in my pool.
I know, we can't access our pool right now, so we'll be
swimming
in yours.
I'm still nervous about your pool. Have you gotten to put your pool alarm on?
Well, here's my issue is they covered our whole pool in plastic.
Yes.
And taped around it. And the pool alarm functions based off of like a splash in the water.
Okay.
And I feel like if a kid went on top of the plastic and fell in it, I don't think it would trigger it.
No, I don't know. I mean.
And so I haven't even put it in, but I've installed all these like extra locks on the tops of the doors that the boys can't reach. And every time like they fall asleep, I put the alarm on to stay so that if a door, a window, anything was opened, it would go off. But the pool not having a fence is not my favorite. But I do think in our yard they're planning to do, basically now they'll do like all the hardscaping and then do the landscaping last. So I'm hoping once we get that hardscaping in, we can put a pool fence in.
Oh, that would be
because that's
great.
my top priority.
How long does that last? Like, how long will it take, I mean, for them to do the hardscaping portion?
I have no idea. Because it's supposed to be, what are we, like 2 weeks in? And it's supposed to be 8 to 10. And today no one was there. And I'm like, hello.
I noticed that. I was like, are they done? Because I don't see all these like giant trucks moving giant amounts of like dirt
Well,
and
the good
whatever.
news is hopefully the loud phase is over for all of our neighbors, so I can stop being a bad neighbor and be back to being a good neighbor. Although I'm not sure you can be considered a good neighbor with a porta potty on your front lawn.
I agree. You can't.
Yeah.
You're bringing
So
down our neighborhood.
I've got 8 weeks to go until I'm back in good neighbor category.
You'll be in an excellent neighbor category when you have us all over and we get to enjoy it with you.
Yes.
That's how you're going to help.
Okay.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned your porta potty because Charlotte was like, "Oh, like that's a toilet?" And I was like, "Yeah."
You're
She's
we're
like,
not going to talk about it.
I'm like, "Yes, so that there's an extra toilet outside for people that are working outside their house. Like if they're not home or they don't want people in their house because the baby's napping or whatever, they can go to the bathroom." And she just started laughing. That's a toilet. And she starts laughing like there's a toilet outside. She thought
And
it
now
was
she's going to
hysterical.
be interested in it. And you're like, please stay away from that toilet, honey.
Like you're going to open it one day and see my daughter.
I'm not going to open it.
Okay,
I will
don't.
absolutely not open
Okay,
it.
good. Don't.
I need no part of that.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you, since you brought up good neighbor, bad neighbor, I had a quick and mild bad neighbor moment, and I chuckled to
And it
myself.
was you. It wasn't me.
It was me
Because
this
when
time.
you texted me that, I'm like, what did I do? Can
know.
she smell the porta potty? What's going on?
No, I cannot. But I'll let you know if that does happen. And so yesterday, apparently, somebody came to our door and was like soliciting us.
I've seen, side note, so many solicitors in our neighborhood lately, and I don't love it.
And you have a great no soliciting like little
No
plaque.
one
Where'd
sees
you get
it.
that?
I got it on Amazon where I buy 99% of my things, but I need like a giant one to tape to the front door because nobody looks at it.
Yeah, and they don't care. I was going to ask you if that works because I saw it and it
No.
looked very classy. You know, when I was over there stealing Sam's scooter, I noticed it. Yeah.
And I got the one that was like non-offensive looking, but I think it goes unnoticed.
Yeah, well, I noticed it, and I just wanted to compliment you on your
Okay.
no soliciting sign. I won't solicit you anymore.
Thank you.
But there was a solicitor, and I promptly said, why don't you try next door? My neighbor's right there with all that construction. Maybe go chat with them. Bad neighbor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what? There's enough chaos. I don't even know if
You
I would
wouldn't
have
notice.
noticed that the Ring doorbell went off. So, fair
I was
enough.
like, interesting service. You know what? We're actually good on that service, but you know who really might be interested?
Is those
See them right
people.
next door with all that
Don't
construction.
send them to me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so tell me about your Memorial Day.
We were very low key. We had some of our friends over, like Sam's 2 best friends and their wives, who are obviously not my friends. Paige, sorry. And we just made smash burgers, and like there was a lot of children between all of us. My 4 and 2-year-old twin, like 15-month-olds, a 9-month-old, and so it was a little busy on that front, but we ate good food. We had fun. I mean, Sam is very bored, obviously, still in his not able to walk injured state. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have his friends over. The girls are going to take the babies upstairs in the playroom, and we're just going to let them hang out on the couch,
Yep.
which I feel like maybe like my girlfriends were like, we want a break from them. I'm like, I know, but I also have to give Sam like a little bit of friend time so he doesn't lose his mind.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, and it was nice. And,
You're
you know,
such a good wife.
sometimes when I'm not dumping laundry on Sam, telling him you can fold from the bed. By the way, he's gotten very good at it.
Okay. Oh, I am impressed. So he's become very domestic.
He's always been pretty domestic,
Really?
but he tried to take a break from that with his injury, and I have found things he can do anyway, like
You're like-
folding dish towels in bed.
Oh my God. Has he booked any more trips?
No, but he's been planning all of these like hypothetical golf trips with his buddies to like Singapore and all these strange locations. I'm like, again, there are other things you could be doing with your time if you wanted to ask me.
Oh
Like
my
apparently
gosh.
booking our kids in camp, which I haven't done.
Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. So back to the smash burgers. Did you film it so we can see
I
what it
didn't
looks
film
like?
it
Did you take a
because-
picture?
I did nothing because it was a little hectic and Paige was doing most of it, and there were a couple fires, and so it wasn't filmable.
I would love for Paige to give us a cooking class.
She's so good.
Isn't she like a real chef?
Yeah, she went to culinary school, and she does all the basic things really well, like even down to picking like the perfect produce, and she just like will make absolutely everything from scratch. So
Oh.
she's also kind of intimidating to cook for.
Yeah, I don't know how you would cook for her. That is intimidating.
She's nice about it.
Oh, okay.
You know, you do your best.
She's probably one of those people that's like, oh, well, when I go to the farmer's market, I find the best like kumquats because they're in season, and I'm always like,
That's her.
in awe of people that know what season.
Well, most
is
of the
like.
stuff at the farmer's market is in season because
Good point.
that's how it operates.
But they know, it's blank season. Like I never know. All I know, I'm like, how come I can't find any apples all of a sudden?
right.
And then
or Sam will be like, why are these berries so bad?
Yes.
Because it's not summer.
Oh, I didn't know that. See,
They're
I didn't.
summer. It's a summer thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that's like something I've been trying to capture for a while. I think I need to like really master that. Like I want to be like, hey, I'm going to plan a menu around blank, blank, blank because
Seasonal
they're in
foods.
season.
I'm
Yeah.
going to start emailing you all the seasonal foods.
Oh, okay. So you know all of that.
No, but I can look it up. I have a general idea of certain things.
Okay. Yeah, I've like if you gave me $1,000 right now to tell you when avocados are in season, I literally would just be
We
like,
have an avocado tree. I'm like, it's not now.
oh, I was going to say, I mean, I couldn't even guess. I have no idea.
Later. Fall. Winter. Not now.
Okay.
And berries, I also know are in season because we went strawberry picking.
Right. Oh, by
With
the way,
the kids'
thank you.
school.
I didn't get to thank you for being a good neighbor and dropping off those delicious strawberries.
They were good, huh?
They were so good. So good. They went in kids' snacks. They went on top of pancakes. They went on top of French toast. They were everything. It was great. Wonderful
Yeah, those
strawberries.
are, some of them weren't perfect because Owen doesn't have a discerning choice. He picked a lot of green ones, but I
No,
left those out of yours.
ours
I
were
left those
good.
out of yours. You got the brown ones.
Yeah, I was going to say ours were all good, actually. I was.
And
yeah.
then you still sent a solicitor to my door.
Yes.
After all of that.
Yes.
Gosh.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay, so that was, and what else did you make with your smash burgers?
I made this bean recipe that was my grandmother's. That's just like
Oh.
full of brown sugar, but it's so good and it's very nostalgic. And we had watermelon and I made ice cream.
You made
Yeah.
ice cream? How do we make ice cream?
This
My
is the
God.
easiest ice cream recipe. You take your ice cream maker. You take some Cool Whip. You don't look at the ingredients in the Cool Whip because you don't need to do that. You mix the Cool Whip with some store-bought chocolate milk. You stir it in. You put it in the ice cream maker, and it tastes like a Frosty from Wendy's. It's so good.
Ooh, but we need an ice cream maker?
You do.
Can you like link that on your Amazon something or
Yeah,
whatever?
you can get an
Instagram?
ice cream maker for like $30. It's great. And the kids think it's really fun, and that's like such an easy one to make with the kids because they can stir together Cool Whip and chocolate milk and watch it spin, and they love it. So that's what we did.
Okay, I'm inspired. You need to send me the link, and actually, let's post that for folks so that they can also get our favorite
I know.
ice cream
And the
maker.
recipe that because my mom used to make that, but my ice cream maker is like a little smaller, so I kind of wing it. But you can't go wrong, you know?
I mean, it sounds delicious. I'm in. I know my family would love it. Okay, so where do I even begin? I have to
It seems like there's a lot of dramatics going on.
There was a
with your
dramatic
tennis.
Yes. So, yes, I guess we'll go right to tennis. Yesterday I played in my very first match of the season.
Okay.
Okay. So it's already over halfway through the season now, and it's the first time I got to play because our team was trying to go for first place. So
Right.
we all
So they didn't
agreed-
want you to play.
Exactly, which I was 100% fine with. 'Cause
You're very self-aware.
I'm very self-aware, and I'm
Me
like,
too. I'm
I'm
always
not.
like, you can just, I'll sit over there.
Yes,
We're good.
yes, and I've gone and I've watched and all of that stuff. I'm really just there to like have a great workout, learn tennis, have a great time with the girls. So like, you know, if there's some girls that are really competitive and they're really good and going for first place, like I 100% support that. So I voted for that approach. So at the beginning of the year, they basically were like, are we going to do like the competitive approach? Or are we going to do the like fun social approach? And we all voted, and I voted for the competitive approach because I'm like, if our team is that good, like give them a chance. And so anyway, I was not expecting to play at all the whole season, which was perfectly
didn't know
fine with
that.
me. Yeah, I was totally fine with it. So anyway, so I guess we fell out of the ranking. So our team is really good, but we weren't going to make the top like 1 or 2 spots. I think we're probably third or something. But it's like pretty close. The top 3 teams are really close. But anyway, so turns out that they were starting to mix up the lineup, and they're asking me if I want to play. And I'm like, want is such a strong word.
I'm like, I will. I can.
I was
physically.
like, So when you say want, like, I mean, like, I'll go in, but as long as like there's nothing at stake, because I don't want to disappoint anybody, and I don't want that level of pressure.
That's one of my problems with being on these teams is you hit a bad shot and you're looking over like,
Yes. Okay. So they were like, don't worry, we're out of it. We're not going to get to sectionals. Like, we're just going to start playing. So I end up shuffling around my whole schedule and go and get ready to like prepare to play. And so I know who I'm playing with. And then one of the other doubles teams, like, or pair, two of our friends, they were like preparing. So basically, just so you guys know, when you're playing doubles, you will play with a partner. And a lot of times, like, you'll prepare with your partner like a couple days before if you don't always play with them, especially. Some people in doubles, they stay only them two. Like, they always stick together. Our team mixes it up. So the two, like, a bunch of us were preparing, and we're like, okay, you know, these two people are going to play together. They're going to practice. So several days are going by, and like those two are practicing.
Still like into this.
Yes, and we're practicing. So we're like, you're practicing with your like partner that you're going to play the match with, okay? So anyway, it is cut to the morning of the match, which was yesterday morning. All of a sudden, texts start coming through in a group chat.
Never good.
And I'm like, and it's 45 minutes before we're like, I'm already dressed, like I'm ready to go. I already texted my partner like which uniform, because we have two uniforms. So I'm in the blue one. There's also a pink one. We were all ready to rock, and the texts start coming through, and it's our team captain being like, so this other team basically had to cancel and default one of their lines. So for those of you that don't know tennis, it's like 3 lines, or like think of like strings, right? 3 lines. So first, second, and third.
So they didn't have 6 players.
So they didn't have 6 players. So they only had 4 players. So they were like, you know, per the USTA rules, they have to default their third line. And that is me, because your first line is your best. And then second is your second best, and third is your like less experienced players typically. So I, of course, naturally am line 3, which I know and I'm comfortable with. So they're like, oh, we're going to have to default line 3 per the rules, like this team. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, I'm a little disappointed, but I'm also like relieved.
Yeah, you're like, I can get a practice match in and I'll feel good.
Exactly. And I'm like, that's totally fine. And they actually have to give you a 6-0 win.
Which is good for you.
Which is great for my 2-5 ranking, which, by the way, I posted my receipts that I am, in fact, a 2-5, okay? I don't know what this C means, but I think it's bad. So whatever that means, I have no idea. It doesn't really matter, but I just wanted to chuckle. So I posted proof that I'm actually ranked 2-5. Okay. So I'm like, oh, that's great. Like, okay, I'll go and support. See you guys there. So glad I got the win. Like, no problem at all. Like, immediately I'd responded, and I was already celebrating.
And they're like, no, you'll be playing anyway.
Literally, they text back, Kimberly, you're going to be playing with somebody else now because, oh, I forgot. There was more to this. So not only did our opponent have to give up one of their lines and default, so that was going on. And in addition to that, it was the other players that were supposed to play. One of the girls injured her back. So all of these changes are coming through the very last minute after we'd all been prepping for like a week essentially. And like, it is literally almost time to go. And so all of a sudden my phone's ringing, and it's my girlfriend's. What is going on? We don't know if you're playing. If I'm playing, who are we playing with? Like, it was just like it was just
the leagues
chaos.
Like to be prepared too.
What do you mean?
I just feel like
the girls.
There's not
Yes.
There's not a lot of like
mixing up.
Pivot, it's fine, don't worry about it.
Yes.
Because Sam playing professional tennis would sometimes play with a partner that he'd never practiced with in his life and just go out there and just make it happen.
Yeah. So
that doesn't happen in the leagues.
No, the ladies' leagues are very like, I don't want to say like clannish or something, but like they
have a method. Because I remember going there like, do you want to play forehand or backhand? I'm like, I don't really care. It's kind of all going to be the same level of average from me, so you pick.
That's always my answer. But most people know exactly where they play. They know exactly who they're playing with. They know all the things. So for all of this to get shuffled last minute caused a lot of panic in everybody. And next thing I know, it's the text, Kimberly, you're playing with so-and-so. And we are just...
You're like, actually, my back hurts too, so I'm just going to sit on the sideline.
I was just like, oh my God. I start listening to like manifestations and
David
like
Goggins.
All the things.
Pump you up.
Yeah. So I'm driving. Oh, so then our car wash guy is there. Okay. and he's late. So then I'm already
You
going to
guys
have
do
to.
not get along anymore.
No, he already punished me because I canceled on him twice last minute. So then he punished me for a month, and then I was
That's
driving
who
around.
I'd like you to send to my house. Have you
As
seen
a
my
good
car?
neighbor?
Don't send the solicitors to me. Send the guy to vacuum all the Cheerios out of my backseat.
He's too busy vacuuming my Cheerios out of my back seat.
I've got some French fries in there too. Might clog the vacuum.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
Okay. Yeah, he might cancel you for that. So then I was going to have to put London in our extra car, our nanny car, and drive her. And it just like everything was like it was just like I was getting thrown off unexpectedly. And I was already
the
kind of
last
nervous.
minute moving of car seats always really gets me too.
Yes.
It's not that big of a deal, but it feels like a big deal.
Yes. So I get London in to the other car, and because everything's just like our timeline's off. I'm at this point almost going to be late after I had plenty of time, and so I'm on the way to drop her off. I'm like, we're fine. I'll get there right on time. I wanted to get there early to warm up, but anyway, as I'm like down the street, the girl that I'm playing with calls. I'm already here. Put on your pink uniform.
You're wearing blue.
I'm wearing the wrong colors, and I'm like, okay. I turn around. I panic text my nanny who is off. She is not working on the clock.
Bring down the pink.
And I'm like, can you please take London? I have to go change. I'm about to be late for this match. Like it was a debacle. Nothing was good about
I don't
this.
like being late to anything. So
I
if
don't
something
either.
throws me off by like 1 or 2 minutes, I freak out.
It's
a terrible quality. Sam's always like, it's okay if the kids are late to preschool. I'm like, no, it isn't.
I know.
Anyway.
It is. Yeah, it's the
So
perfectionist
you're in a
you.
panic.
So everything's falling apart. And my friends are calling me. They're falling apart. We're laughing and crying. It was just so dramatic and ridiculous. And anyway, so sure enough, we go there. We go there, and I can already feel the energy's off. And keep in mind, like the days before, we were all playing so well that I was like, "Oh, for sure, we're winning."
You were
Like it was like the
calm.
winning
You were
energy.
collected.
Everyone was playing well together. It was the winning energy. Like we were all over it. Okay, so fast forward, we do our warm up. But the energy's a little off because everyone's just not. Everyone got totally thrown off, and I'm trying to regroup my mind because a lot of it is mindset, right? Just like everything else in life, I feel like.
Well, you also went from thinking that you were playing to weren't playing, and then you're back to playing again. So you like prepared, unprepared, re-prepared.
Yes. Blue uniform, pink uniform, this player, that player, the whole thing. So anyway, sure enough, we're now playing line 2. So I'm playing, up essentially a level. So there's that also to all of this. And we play, and the girls are good, but I felt like we were playing well. And I look over, and it's like, it was the sweetest thing. There must have been like, I don't know, 7 or 8 girls sitting that came to watch.
Oh, that's so nice.
And they were cheering for us.
Does that help you?
I didn't.
Or does
I
it
thought
stress
it would
you
make
out?
me more stressed out. But I was so determined because I respect these women and love them so deeply, Abby, that it's like, I want nothing more than to like do my best because they are there. And the way, like one of my girlfriends, she was giving me the nods. Like it was like, I don't know. It's like a sisterhood. It's the weirdest thing. Like it's a very special bond.
Rumble under that sort of pressure. So I'm proud of you that it didn't make you crumble.
Thank you. You know what? I think last year I would have crumbled, but I think because I've formed such a deep bond, it actually felt a little bit warmer.
Good.
I felt less judged and more supported, which I thought for sure, oh my God, if someone looks at me, I'm going to fall apart. And instead I felt like I was like, nope, my girls are here. Like they taught me what to do. Our tennis coach, Karen, is there. Like, I don't know, it gave me support, and it did add a little bit of like pressure, like they're here, they're watching, so I wanted to do well, but it was more love than stress, which was
A little
amazing.
bit of good pressure is sometimes beneficial.
Yes.
It's just a very fine line.
Yes. So the women we were playing were good, and we played well. I did double fault once, which was my goal not to.
Done that 3 to 4 times in a game before, so serving is hard.
Yeah. So I mean, basically that means that I gave up a point because I didn't get my serves in the box, So there was that. But all in all, we did well, but we lost. But I will say it was a nail biter. It was like we were down 0-3, and then we caught up, and then we were ahead, and then we were tied, and then we were like almost gonna like finish it, and then we didn't finish it, and then so it was like 7-5, and then it was 7-5 again, and there was tiebreakers going on. I mean, it was like a nail biter.
As long as you feel like you played well.
We played well.
I feel that's important.
We did. Like, some of these women, though, they've been playing for 40 years, literally for 40 years. So for me to be like, this is basically my first real season where I really tried.
You weren't trying when I was on the team with you? How dare you?
I thought I was, and then I look back at that time and I giggle because I'm like, you mean playing 10? Like, I would literally go to clinic literally for 1 hour out of the one, so wouldn't even stay for a full clinic because it's an hour and a half, and I'd leave there and run off to work, and then I'd be like looking back like, how come I'm not getting good at tennis? I'm usually really athletic. It's like, well, an hour a week or like every other week is not going to do it.
So when I play for an hour a couple times a year, I'm not going to get better.
No, but you just stay on that course because I'm like frantically trying to catch up to you. So
I'm not doing much these days.
I really wish you didn't get bumped because then we could have been partners.
I know. I wouldn't have had time to do it this year anyway.
Not this year, but like in fall. That's the thing. And I'm not going to move up to 3-5 by fall, sadly. Well, not even by...
I could move down.
Yeah, how do we get you to do that?
I don't know. Make a fake account, fake name.
Okay, we're going to have to mastermind this a little better. Yeah. Okay, so that was my tennis excursion yesterday. We lost, but our team won overall because we had so many points. Like, our team helped the win, actually, because the games were so close, and that made me feel really good.
Oh, is that what it's based on?
Yeah, like it's a point system, and it's
not
overall.
Just 2 out of 3. Oh, okay, I didn't even know that. Yeah. So maybe that's why I'm not on a team.
Yeah, well, I'm on the team and I still don't fully understand it. But anyway.
So will you be playing another game?
So we all go to lunch afterwards and we're having the best bonding time. And just these girls played such great tennis. And it's such a strong bond. Like, it is really like you're fighting a war together. It's really something. And anyway, so at the end, one of the team captains said, so do you want to play again? And I'm going,
maybe.
Can we regroup on this another day?
Get back to me on that.
Yeah.
But that is also the only way that you get better is playing with people who are better than you.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Good stepping stone.
It was a great experience, I have to say, and I absolutely love my partner. And yeah, I really wish that we had won because it wasn't even like it was like we got killed. It was like because we were literally neck and neck the entire time, it hurt a little bit more.
I could never decide when Sam was playing tennis, like, obviously, it's terrible to get, like, blown off the court and embarrassed, and those are terrible losses. But sometimes when you're so close that it's come down to a couple of points, which Sam had happen, I think it was 2018, and his best year was 2017, and he lost, I don't know if it was 7 or, like, 13. It was so many matches that he lost in the third set tiebreak, like 7-6 in the third. And if he had won even half of those, it would have completely changed his year. And those losses become so demoralizing. And then once you get to the end of these matches, when you're so close, you have no confidence because you've lost so many. So, yeah, some of those really tight matches are the ones that I look back on in his career and I'm like, ugh. And I don't like playing them either. And I'll have to eventually if I ever get on a team again.
You will definitely, and you'll be so loved by the team. And I'm jealous of the team that gets you because not only are you a fabulous friend in person, but you're a great tennis player. And I'm really sad that
I have an average attitude, if we're being completely honest.
I don't think so.
I could work on that.
No, I don't agree. I think your biggest problem is you get in your own head because you get so nervous you have to take a Zofran after.
So I don't throw up. In a practice match, I do get really nervous and I shake. That's not great.
That's just you getting comfortable with the girls. Because if you played me, for
example.
No,
I did this in high school tennis. I once fell to the ground in like double leg cramps because I was so nervous.
I think that if you... Okay.
In high school.
Let's walk through
my team wasn't even good.
Okay. I really believe that if you and I went out and played just us, you would be relaxed and you wouldn't care for the most part, right? Like with me. Correct?
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to impress me. If you make a mistake, I don't care. Like, I think you're amazing or whatever, right? Regardless. I think that once you are on a team and you really know the girls, that's when you'll get really comfortable and you'll still...
But then I'm playing opponents. Now I'm in a match setting.
Right. And so
this is a therapy session, everyone.
It is. Well, it's good because I realized, to your point, that even the really good players get nervous. Mm-hmm. And I think there's, to your point also, like it's a healthy level of nerves to
Right.
have that. But then the matches, they go on for so long. You're like, is this over yet?
They do. And sometimes if the game drags on, and especially if I'm serving, I would rather just forfeit it than continue to try to make a serve in the box. I'm like, let's just move past this game.
Oh my gosh. One girl, she was on deuce so many times and then she kept double faulting. I felt so bad for her, but she had
And
a
then
great
for
serve.
some of us, your arm gets tired.
Yes. Okay, so I have to tell you something else though. So you know how your boyfriend, Sam, my friend, your man?
I was going to say, are we not married anymore? What happened?
No, you're married still. But I have to say, he posed a challenge in my mind. He posed a challenge. So let's switch gears to golf. Okay?
Oh,
'Cause
okay,
now
because I saw you took a golf lesson.
Yes, I did. And guess what? So for those of you that missed the episode with lovely Sam on, which he is lovely, and we did make...
He likes to get under people's skin a little bit.
So he basically admitted, which I did appreciate his honesty, that essentially he was like, yeah, I like to golf with my friends, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, by the way.
I have no problem with that either. But
Yeah.
I would also like to point out that he has invited me golfing with him on a number of occasions. I've probably said yes 40% of the time because I also don't want to golf with him. But I'm like, that's not true that you've never... Sometimes when you have no other options, you do ask me. You know?
In desperate times.
Sometimes you're desperate, Sam. Don't let the people think you're not desperate sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I can see
Right.
that. I can see him being desperate for you, like,
Yeah,
for sure.
he more so meant he wanted to golf with people at a similar level to him. And I don't feel like, short of maybe a miracle, we will get to his level.
So I have no problem with that. None. I think it's totally appropriate, even if like he wanted to golf with just his friends because it's just his friends and his thing with his friends. Like I think that is so healthy, and I think in a marriage like that is awesome.
Yeah, you
And-
have to have your separate things.
Yeah, I love it. It's the equivalent of you and I wanting to play tennis together, or you and I wanting to shop, or you and I wanting to go to the spa, or you and I wanting to take our kids somewhere, whatever, like a mommy and me, whatever. Like, I think that's very healthy. But he did he like motivated me in the sense that he was like, we were talking about him getting golf club, you and I getting new golf clubs. And he was
yeah.
like, if you have new golf clubs, that's not going to like make you go more. Like, you have to go more, and then you'll get better, and then you're in it.
It's not my favorite argument.
Yeah, again, he's not wrong. He's not wrong, okay? And I thought it was
I'm not going to buy golf clubs.
it was a fair point. But for me, I was like, he's like, if you go every day to the range, every day, and maybe take some lessons, and like you hit the ball, like you will improve. And like, then you're in it. Like you've committed and you're doing
So
the
how
thing.
many days have you now gone to the range?
So it motivated me I was going to go and get my brand new golf clubs. And then I remembered Brian has golf clubs that he doesn't golf. And I've tried to
Right.
tell him that he needs to get rid of those like golf clubs.
And now look at you. Now
And
you need them.
so because of Sam's comments, specifically basically being like, yeah, it's not clubs. It's not someone taking you. It's you need to go do it. I was like, okay, he's right. He was right. And I appreciated that. So I
Should we
dusted
go
off.
tomorrow morning?
Um,
I've got some time.
Yes, I have tennis at 9:30, but I would go before that if you can. And if not, we can. Okay, well, we're going to schedule it.
Okay.
So I now signed up. I called up the kids instructor and I signed myself up for golf lessons.
Amazing.
And I dusted off Brian's. Let me just tell you how nitty gritty I got. I dusted off his golf clubs. Keep in mind, I have no idea if they're the
You
right
are-
size or type.
Yeah, you are supposed to clean them.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that. I don't know
Okay, you
anything
dusted.
about.
Okay.
I have no idea how to do that. They have little hats on them, the covers, whatever those things are called, the club
Hats.
covers,
They're hats from now on.
whatever those things are.
Hats.
So like, hopefully they're not too bad. I texted a picture to the golf instructor. She's like, "We will make those work," quote unquote. She said something about the material. Make sure they're not fiberglass or make sure they're steel or they're not steel. I'm not really sure.
They're fine.
Anyway,
Everything's
nonetheless,
fine.
the only problem, here's the worst part about those clubs. Everything's fine, except for they're in a UCLA bag.
You're a USC girl.
Yes. So that's painful.
You want me to get some spray paint over there? Cover it up.
I mean, my thing is I'm going to take my pack. So I bought a pack of 4 golf lessons.
Okay.
I've done my first lesson only.
How was it? Did you like it?
I loved it. Our golf instructor is a woman, and she's like Little Miss Daisy. I think I told you a little bit about her already.
Yes.
And anyway, she's like a super girl's girl, which I actually feel like it's almost like Elle Woods like goes to golf. You know what I mean? It's like she owns the fact that she's a woman. She's not trying to be the guy. Like I love that energy. Her nails are this long. It's the best. Anyway, hot pink, the whole thing. I loved it. She was so methodical and for those of you out there that are like toying with the idea of golf, there's one thing I do know from like my past like dabbles in golf is like the form is so important and you really cannot just like start.
It's counterintuitive, some of it.
Yeah, like you really need to get the right form down or else you have to undo it later. And that becomes very problematic. And so I was like, I know once I really want to do this, I really have to get a lesson so that I don't form bad habits that I then have to undo later. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, I haven't really put a solid amount of effort into golf ever. People have given me little tips. It's not my like stage of life for it yet.
Yeah.
But I do want to play it, I think.
Well, when you hit 40, maybe you'll have second thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was so methodical. She really teaches you like step by step, like almost painstaking detail of your form. But I knew that like that is exactly what I needed.
Well, it's nice to know what goes wrong because on the off chances that Sam has been desperate enough to golf with me, I'll ask him and he's not a coach in any capacity. I'm like, why did that happen? And he can't give me an answer. But as opposed to if I went golfing with his friend Wes, who's very... he's a natural teacher of things. He can kind of break it down for me and tell me what I'm doing wrong, which I need.
Woman, she knows it cold. She's like, oh, it's because the toe did this and you need to like it. She is like, it's very meticulously.
That's what I'm told is my hips are not finishing where they're supposed to be.
She talks to you about the hips. The leaning, and she has all these like explanations as to your form and like doesn't talk down to you at all, but she just really breaks it down. And so it's like very like tangible.
Right, because I find it to be a really frustrating sport because one time you hit the ball and you're like, oh, we could work with that. And then the next time you hit it and it goes 2 feet. And it just seems like an insurmountable task.
And you have no idea as to why it is that way.
And
it's
sometimes I
frustrating.
know what I'm doing wrong, but I can't fix it.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's exactly why I wanted to invest in her. So yeah, it was a great first lesson. I hit the ball a couple times. She's like, oh, your little girl is just like you. Like she learns fast and women catch on quickly because they follow the method. Because I watched Carter and Charlotte and she said, this is very common, this dynamic. Like Carter gets out there. He's like, I just want to hit the ball. He wants to hit as hard as I can. Yeah. He does not want to sit there and go through all the detailed like forms and all that. Even though she's like patiently saying like, this is the foundation and this, I'm going to get you to the big swing. Like he just wants to hit the ball.
That's also me. So I might not be teachable.
No, she says, and then Charlotte will sit there patiently and like go through step by step and like follow every single instruction and just do it with ease. And then as a result, she's like really good because she's applying the methodology and trusting the teacher. And she said that is like her experience almost always with men versus women.
Right.
Whether they're kids or adults, it doesn't even matter. So anyway, I just want to give some encouragement to any of the ladies out there that are interested in golf. You don't have to go to a fancy country club. I'm not at a fancy place for golf. And just find like a public course and get an instructor if you can. And don't be afraid to try it. And a lot of times they'll actually give you a club and like you can borrow it. And so, yeah, I started that. And then I want to go to the driving range a little bit more. The more I go, then I will then eventually work my way up to my clubs.
Yes. 6 months tops. You're earning those clubs, right?
Yes.
Is that too long?
That feels like
That's too long.
I was
6 weeks.
thinking like 6 days. Like
For
I was thinking of like
tomorrow.
So that's my golf experience.
Golf. Okay, so you're just hitting all the sports now. What's next for you?
I'm gonna and then all my friends are telling me, so then we went to a book club and all the moms apparently are playing pickleball.
Yeah, well, you can tear your Achilles doing that. So, and we've played pickleball. You played one time.
Yeah, you took me once. You and Sam took me.
And you were better than he expected. So look at you go.
I mean, he's probably just saying that to be a good neighbor. But
No, he would not do that.
Oh, really?
He
Oh.
would tell you if he thought you were terrible.
Oh, okay. Because I was pretty sure.
He's pretty honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, do you play pickleball?
Not often because I don't have time at this stage of my kids. I will eventually because it doesn't require as much cardio as tennis. So that's more my speed. Because there's less running.
Have you thought about creating a pickleball court in your backyard?
Yeah, we thought about filling our pool in and putting one, but it's so loud, and I don't think there's really, like, quite enough space for it. But, and real estate-wise, it's not great to fill your pool in our neighborhood, but, yeah, we considered it.
So one of our friends has a tennis court. Tennis court is separate. It's separate from like everything else kind of. And in her backyard, like, so her pool is separate and her, the rest of the outdoor living stuff is. So they have a big backyard. And what they did was she just created her own, like through taping it, I guess. Like, you can tape it off.
You can. It's not super fun to play on because I think it can be a little bit visually confusing, but you also don't want to permanently get rid of your tennis court either.
Yeah.
I would rather have a tennis court in our backyard because in my mind, I would use that more. It wouldn't fit. But, yeah.
You know what? I think that if I was blessed to have a tennis court or be fancy and have like a gym and even an at-home gym like in my garage or even the Peloton, like even just a stationary bike or a treadmill, whatever it is, I know myself. I don't think I'd use it.
Yeah, I haven't been on our Peloton in months.
I think that company went down after the pandemic, didn't it? Or am I
Yes, but it started before. I think it's still pretty popular. They have a treadmill. We got one gifted to us through like a sponsor in 2018. So we've got like a super old one. And I just hate spinning because I have no quad muscles. It's not for me. And maybe if I did spin, I would have quad muscles and then hate it less. But it's hard for me to get on there. Sam's been using it in his recovery.
Oh, he has?
So, yeah, I moved it like 17 times in that room.
Yeah,
like,
so
this
tell us,
is really heavy.
How is it going? How is his recovery?
It's slow. You have to be really cautious with it. But he's driving, which is amazing. And a couple weeks, I think he'll be putting all his weight on it. Using the crutches, just gimpy.
Poor guy. So he's done with the hyperbaric now, right?
Yes. He's over that. He's on just rehab, red light therapy, all the other things.
Oh, my goodness.
See, he's taking it very seriously, which is great, because he has nothing else to do.
That's good,
other
though.
than playing golf trips. But, yeah, it's just a slow road.
Yeah. I feel so bad for him still. So, okay. So, are you really going to go to Europe without him?
Yes.
I can't believe that. I don't know why I find that unbelievable. I think it's because I feel like when you guys do your big trips, even if it's a work trip for him, which actually it is always they're all work trips, but I feel like you always go as a family, like kids, you got the whole crew, like it's a whole thing. So I'm still quite shocked that you're going without him.
Yeah, I'm going. My parents are coming, and we had planned this trip before he got hurt.
Yeah,
a slightly different variation of it, and a lot of times when you book flights to and from Europe, they're refundable, but it has to be the same leg, it's called, so it has to be Europe home, and that's what some of the tickets that my parents had bought and some of the tickets that we had bought, and so we're like, why not go? Life is short, you never know what can happen, and so let's just take a family trip without Sam.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's going to be a first, right, that you would do that.
With the kids, yes, but I did a ton of traveling before him and I met, so I'm pretty confident with it.
Yeah.
We were joking, which will offend my mom if she listens to this, but Sam's like, well, the second best traveler in this group is Ford, and the third best is Owen. I'm like, that's kind of true. They've been more places than the adults, but it's going to be really fun. It's going to be good family memories. It's we need to plan it out maybe a little bit better. But we're making memories. I don't see my parents that much. They're in Florida, so it's going to be good. We're just, You're
just going to do it. Okay, here's what I want to know about you and Sam's dynamic, and I can share ours too, me and Brian. So when you guys travel, I fully understand Sam books all the logistics, the planes, the trains, the cars.
I can do it. I'm
hotels.
not as good at it.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing it his entire career for like his whole
And
career.
he likes it, and he's
good at it.
yeah, it's a skill of his.
Yeah, it's a skill of his. So I have a question. When you guys, does that theme continue? Is he still the planner? Because I always believe in a marriage, one person is the planner on the vacation and one person is the guest. Like the one that they'll go with whatever the plan is. So when you guys actually have, like, let's just say, for example, he has a free week or a free couple days, like if there might be a site you want to see or any experience or a dinner.
I think I'm more of the
happens?
planner with the smaller details, especially with the kids. Like, I'm the one that's looking up all the kids' activities and the parks and the museums and all of the things that will be kid-friendly. I look up a lot of the restaurants because I have celiac, so I want to find a restaurant where I can eat something other than, like, an undressed salad. And he's a big picture. I'm a small picture.
I had a feeling that's how it worked with you guys. How does that work when you're in Europe or not in the U.S. with respect to your celiac? How do you even unpack that?
Apps that tell you different restaurants, and actually Europe is about 100 times better than America because they take allergies a lot more seriously, and they have an allergen menu most of the places. So it's not that bad. London, everything's in English. We're also going to Croatia, but I think you just make it happen.
I'm sorry for the bad question, but that's a different language, right? They speak Croatian.
But most people there are going to speak English.
I haven't been there, but okay. I've been to a lot of countries, but I've never been to Croatia, so I wasn't sure if they spoke any English there at all.
Yeah. Most European places, people speak English.
Yeah. But I remember we went to Greece. Have you ever been to Greece?
I've been to Greece for work, briefly.
Okay. Did you go to any of the islands or just Athens?
I was in Paros.
Okay. Okay.
I was on an island.
Okay, cool. So I remember we traveled all over Europe when I was in my early 20s. I went to 26 countries. We went everywhere. And I remember distinctly getting to Greece and being like, okay, this is all of a sudden hard. Because I felt like in Italy, I could speak Spanish. And like, it just,
it has a different alphabet.
Yeah, it has a different alphabet. Thankfully, I have a cousin there. Thank goodness that I have Greek family. Because I was like, I'm going to be lost here. That was like very scary and overwhelming.
I'm somehow not thrown by not being able to speak the language. It doesn't affect me. Because I did it so much that you just look kind of lost and apologetic, and somebody will help you eventually.
That is true. I think it was just so intimidating. I think it was the first time I was truly intimidated because I couldn't even read the signs at all, where I could kind of figure it out most other places.
The first country I went to for modeling was Italy. And like you're saying, I did a lot of Spanish in high school, so I felt like I could still read a lot of things. I could understand the gist of what people were saying. I couldn't speak any of it. And then I went to Tokyo.
And that's another example.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Tokyo is amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it's very like different. It's
more of a culture shock than Europe for sure.
Yes, I think in the best way possible because it's they're so like clean and high performing there. Like everything is so well orchestrated.
Yes.
Like I'm talking from the moment you land, like the airport, everything's orderly.
And people follow directions there.
Oh my God, they do. And
nobody's going to walk the wrong way up the stairs or down the stairs in the subway station.
Yes, that's so true. And like even their traffic, there's nobody honking. It's a major city, think New York traffic, and it's silent.
I know, and it's so funny because there's a tennis tournament there, and it's a very hard atmosphere for the players to play in because nobody cheers really loudly. It's like you'll hit this amazing shot and you get like, and you're like, come on, like give us something.
Oh, that is interesting. That is so interesting. I could see that. Yeah. That's why I love traveling because you get to see so many amazing cultures.
And that's why I'm taking the family.
Yes.
I always say travel with your kids when they won't remember it. Pro tip. Take them all these places, struggle along. You can show them pictures later, right?
Abby, I can't tell you. So my sister's actually in Thailand. A lot of my family right now, actually right at this exact moment, might even be at the wedding, or maybe that's tomorrow on the 1st, and I think they're ahead. But anyway, my sister's brother-in-law is getting married in Thailand, and they brought their kids. All of them brought their young kids. Oh my God, it's like a 15-hour flight.
That's a long, yeah. That's long.
It's like my worst nightmare. So what my sister and her husband did was they stopped in Fiji. They flew out. So my brother-in-law, his dad is in Costa Rica. A lot of his almost all their families in Costa Rica. And so the dad came out to the US, stayed for a couple of weeks, went with them to help them with the kids in Fiji, then went home. Then they went from Fiji, or I think they flew out of Melbourne. So from Fiji, they went to Australia to fly to Thailand just to break up the trip. But I'm like,
I don't believe in breaking up the trip. I
You
believe in
don't?
having a terrible 15 hours.
Yes.
Depending on like how you can kind of work the seats around and if you
Yes.
can get, when we're coming home from Europe, we're making a stop because on the second leg we'll have lay flat seats
Nice.
through points, which is worth it.
Great.
But other than that, I just think with kids, have a terrible 15 hours. But you don't have to, because if you have a bad 6 hours, then mentally you're like, oh my gosh, I have a layover in an airport, and then now I have to do this all over again.
True.
And then sometimes you miss your connecting flight because your other flight gets delayed, and then you spend 6 hours in the Dallas airport. And nope, get it done.
Okay, that is a good tip. Well, here's my hot tip. I just don't, like, one of my girlfriends said this
You're
yesterday.
like, I just don't get on planes.
I straight up don't travel with my kids for the most part. Like, we went to Orange County for Mother's Day. I think I had shared all about that. But I swear to God, I was like, thank you for the reminder. We are not traveling with all three kids for a very long time. And one of my girlfriends yesterday, she has three kids, and she went to New York for her birthday. And she was saying what a great trip it was. And I'm like, oh, did you bring your kids? And she's like, I just went with my family. My sister's, it was for her birthday, and she goes, oh, I don't travel with my kids unless I have a nanny, because I just, like, she was like dead serious, like,
It's
I cannot
stressful.
take it.
I've only cried once on a plane.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I know, and it was a 2-hour flight, and it got me.
That's
But
unexpected.
I've cried in a lot of hotel rooms, and at the tennis courts, and some other places, and in the car.
Wait, you know how Paige Lorenz is like, so there's this influencer, Paige Lorenz. She's beautiful. We love her. She's a girlfriend of a tennis person that I don't know who these people are. Tommy? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yes. I have no idea his last name, by the way. Not for $1 million.
Not important.
Anyway, nonetheless, she's perfection. She has her own business. She's everything. Anyway, so she does like a vlog of like the behind the scenes of the tennis tournaments. And like, I love watching them on YouTube and everything. And anyway, I'm just imagining Abby's version of that.
I wish I had done that when I had kids. It would have been entertaining
It
for
would
a
have
few
been like
people.
literally black and white, and then Abby sobbing by herself in the hotel room. And like, you would be like the anti. I feel like it would be like the
Me
opposite.
chasing children around, them screaming at matches.
And like being thrown out. And
Waking up in the middle of the night in Europe because your kid is jet lagged, and you're being in like a tiny hotel room and knowing that your husband has to play a match the next day and your kid is screaming.
Would he sleep in the same? That's a great question.
Yeah, because
Speaking
you
of
get one free room, and once you like bring your child, and then you're paying for an additional hotel room, and you're also paying for all your flights and all your meals, and you're paying for your coach and your physio and all their flights and all their meals. Like, tennis is a pretty expensive sport. So we always stayed for the most part in the same room.
That makes sense.
And it was an adventure.
Yeah, I've never had that life whatsoever. So yeah, but okay. So then, where is your first flight, by the way? Like,
To London. So we're gonna stay in London a couple days, and then we're gonna stay in a like really nice house in Dubrovnik, Croatia, for a couple days. So it's like
nice.
city relax.
yeah, and then you go to. Did you say you're doing Austria? I thought right.
No, that's where we were gonna go,
Oh,
and
you cut it out.
That's like Sam's dream. He really wants to go to this like resort there.
Oh,
I was like, we're not doing that without you.
I've been to Austria. I'm just letting you know. They have beautiful cypress trees. That's where it's the home of the Swarovski crystals,
Oh, yep.
which is very unexpected. It's because it's so like plush and green. Now you're giving me the travel
Vienna's
bug.
not like super plush and green. Did you go to Vienna, or did you go
Yeah,
somewhere
we
else?
did, and we also went to some other like tinier cities, like over a bus. So we got to like drive through different
Yeah.
parts, and so there was some really beautiful some beautiful like back country, and it was just like I really don't remember where we were because it was so long ago, but I should look it up. But anyway, yes.
So
beautiful.
We'll try to go to Austria again next year.
Okay.
And Sam can come on our trip.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so then what's coming up for the week? Just surviving, not thriving?
What day is it? My in-laws are coming this weekend.
Thank goodness,
I'm
right?
so excited. There's so much to do. They're going to be horrified, but then they're going to jump into action, and it's going to be great. I'm going to get so much stuff done around my house.
Like, what are the highlights of things you need to get done?
Well, because we're redoing the backyard and because my husband can't walk, I couldn't move any of the patio furniture into the garage to like protect it. So they put it all up on like walls and hills and under trees. And now it's covered in dust. So we need to drag that around and clean it. There's some patches in my walls that have needed to be painted for about 6 months.
Wait, are you doing that?
No, obviously not.
Okay. I was going to say, wow.
And I switched Owen's crib to like a toddler bed.
Oh, how did that go? Is he getting out of it? Is he liking it?
I mean, he was crawling out of his crib, so.
Oh, so it's safer now.
He's getting used to it, but we've got some wall patching to do where the camera was. And I want to reline, very exciting, all of the shelves and drawers in my kitchen. Because sometimes when you look too closely at your drawers and shelves in your kitchen, you're like, this is actually disgusting. And like, I'm horrified.
Yes. I don't even have my drawers lined. I didn't even know I was supposed to do that. Oops. And I did get myself a new kitchen, like, not that long ago.
Well, that's probably why it's clean, because it's a new kitchen.
Yeah, but I think that was a fail. If it's new, you're supposed to, like, preserve it, and I guess I failed.
You've got time. But yeah, I just wanted... My constant goal is to just declutter things. And I'm kind of a hoarder, and so it's just like, we gotta throw stuff out. And what about you?
We have ice hockey on Saturday. Brian informed me he actually cannot participate, and I don't have any help. So I'm somehow supposed to get 2 kids dressed in all of the pads. By the way, ice hockey is a nightmare to get your kids prepped for. It's like up there with swimming. And I mean swimming when you go to the lessons and all the logistics when they're young.
Damp, and you're trying to redress all the damp people who are poking you in the forehead.
Yeah, and they're screaming, and it's a whole thing. And yeah, so it's a lot to deal with, and especially when you're on a time crunch and you have the 2 kids.
And do you have to take London?
And so now so what we normally will do is Brian will take them to ice hockey on Saturdays or just ice skating just to like up their skills over London's nap time, because that's when there's like public open ice. Now they're going to be enrolled for 7 weeks in this thing, which is great for a summer activity, because when it's 100 degrees out, it's actually great to
be on the ice rink.
Yes. So basically, now I'm going to have to somehow get 2 of them ready for ice hockey, the first day of this session, and have the baby. And I just like...
You can do it. It
I don't
feels
think I can.
insurmountable because
I'm pretty
you
sure I
haven't
can't.
done it. That's what I tell myself.
No, I'm
Because
pretty sure I
every
can't
day
do it.
feels insurmountable. Okay, and I'm here. I'm breathing. It's a little shallow.
You seem like you're really
I
struggling.
need my inhaler. Actually. Yeah, no, you just get through it. And then one day they're 10 and they dress themselves, right?
Actually, I have to give my son a lot of credit for that.
I know, he gets himself ready.
He does
Ford
so
has
well.
started getting himself ready, but his wardrobe choices are very eclectic and not weather appropriate, which is hard to kind of dissuade him out of his choices. So that's a battle we fight every day.
Carter has been doing great on that front, to the point where there was when I went to the book club, I actually went to the mom's night and stayed and didn't go to sleep till 11, which is
Ooh,
a very yeah, I know. And so anyway, I slept in that day till like 6:30.
Wow.
I come downstairs, my son, that sweet little boy,
Dressed,
all
fed.
dressed. He is dressed. He is fed. He has everything in his backpack, including his snacks and his water. His hair is done. His teeth are brushed. Like gold. I was just like, you are golden. Like, I'm obsessed.
Wow.
I know. We have to hang on to these moments, and I have to brag about like when they come. Oh, one other thing I'll tell you about the kids. Carter had his little primary school assembly today. Do you know
Cute.
kids graduate 2nd grade now and they go to
Kids
3rd grade?
graduate every grade. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
An hour and a half. I was like, all the women were like, we have to get to tennis. I was like, I have to go because my last girl is going to be waiting. Like, it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. I know. But it was very cute. And do you know how many...
Ford's graduating, but Sam's going to a doctor's appointment. I'll be there. And then he's graduating to go to preschool again. Owen's doing the same thing. They're not even leaving the school.
Same.
Like, we could just have the party thing at the end.
Yeah, just do a class party. We'd be fine with that. Okay, guess how many songs they sang, these kids? Bless their hearts. Guess how many?
5.
11.
11. Nope.
There was 11
They
songs.
did an album. They did a graduation album. That's 10. That's 10 too many.
Did a graduation album. And I was so impressed with them. But I was also like, I have to go to the bathroom. And everybody, it was sort of, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we were so proud of them. They did great. They did incredibly great. But it was a lot.
There's a lot of graduating and a lot of participation trophies in the world now. And I don't like it. We can't celebrate them all the time.
I mean,
sometimes they didn't accomplish anything.
What do you mean sometimes? That's 98% of my life.
Yeah, like the
just
baseball.
getting them to an activity or a school.
Where are participation trophies?
That's what it is. Like literally getting your child from point A to point B is it. Like that is
Gold Star, Starbucks. That's your participation trophy.
Oh my God.
It's a coffee.
Oh my God. So listen to us because we will motivate you as parents.
We're crushing it. What can I say? Everybody's alive. The house is relatively clean. I think that everyone's fed. I'm not there. I can't be sure. It's fine.
We're a little broken, I feel like, right now still.
The theme of entering summer, it's just a transitional period. I've been broken since we started this, so this is not new.
That's true. We're
figuring it out.
Yeah, we are. Well, anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We're sorry if we like
motivational speaking with Kimberly and Abby. We'll be back next week.
We apologize in advance.
Some more inspiration.
We'll be back next week. I'm sorry about that.
Uninspirational podcast. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. By the way, full episodes are on YouTube, so go watch them. You can watch our faces as we are beaten and broken,
which is a thrill.
Which is an absolute thrill, and apparently the young people like it. That's what I've been told. So anyway, please rate if you are entertained by us at all, or share an episode, comment, give us feedback. You know where to find us at Welcome Neighbors Pod. And we really do appreciate you guys listening and hopefully having a little giggle with us. And
maybe two.
Yeah, we just appreciate you guys. So thank you, and we will catch you again next week.
Thank you.
Bye.